Hello and welcome to the second day of the Frontline Wellness United annual general meeting. In this session, we're going to be talking about our goals for the future. As you probably know by now, Frontline Wellness United has existed for about a year now. We existed in theory, in idea, towards the end of Standing Rock, as the idea for this organization came together. And in the past year, we've actually put together a board of directors, and we've consolidated into an actual organization with members. And we talked all about that yesterday. And you can see the link to that call in the show notes for this call. So if you want to go check that out, either before watching this, if you're not watching it live, or if you're watching it live today, you can watch that video after you've seen this and see what we've accomplished, including getting our 501c3 just a few weeks ago. And today we're going to talk about what we'd like to do in the next year, because being a brand new organization is kind of like being a train chugging up a very steep hill. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. So we've got to get a little bit more momentum and do a few more things. And one of the first things we need to do to be able to get more momentum is we need to recruit. We need to recruit more staff. We need to recruit more volunteers. And we're going to need to actually start building the finances for the organization so that we can accomplish the things that we all care about here at Frontline Wellness United, which is providing health care, mental health care, as well as medical care, and training for street medics that can help activists who are actively engaged in civil resistance and nonviolent conflict. So let's start off with the staff members that we need. We need a director of field operations. Joel has been our director of operations this past year. He's been working just like crazy without any remuneration, which we need to fix that. We need to make sure that we have the finances to pay salary staffs. But one of the things that he wanted at the very beginning of this organization was to make sure that as much as possible of the leadership was women and people of color and Indigenous people, so that it wasn't just a repeat of all of the other organizations out there. So we'd really like to find an excellent, super qualified person to take over that position of director of operations. We also desperately need a fundraiser and development director. Now that we have our 501c3, we need somebody who knows how to raise money to keep an organization like this alive and well, because we simply can't be healthy if we're not raising the funds to get things done. People can't be forever martyrs. As much as we love Joel, we do not want to martyr him on the altar of Frontline Wellness. That is not right. It is not fair, and it is not fair for anybody else who's working full time for the organization, or even doing, significant work. Everybody needs to be able to be fed and have a roof over their head. That said, there are many opportunities for volunteers who are fed and have roofs over their head from other sources. People who can volunteer anything from a couple of hours a week to a few hours a month. We need, in order to build a volunteer crew, we need to develop a cohesive recruitment philosophy. We need to clearly identify and communicate our value and what it is that we're doing with Frontline Wellness, both to volunteers and to the activists who need our services. And we'd like to create a short promo video explaining exactly who we are and what we do. We'd like to focus on recruiting and retaining volunteers with the following credentials. We need MDs and DOs, and we need nurse practitioners. We also need physician's assistants and people with various therapist and counselor credentials. We need nurses. We need street medics. We also need people who have experience in nonprofit management. We need at least one good lawyer. We would love to have a lawyer on our board of directors. Are you a lawyer? Do you want to be on our board of directors? We would love to talk to you. And we need more people who can work with technology, both from the side of cybersecurity, so that Lisa and I aren't the two people that every single question from an activist or a healthcare provider comes to about how do they deal with this security issue. But we also need help with just getting servers set up and maintained. We need to maintain the security and the integrity of those services that we're providing to our membership so that they can keep their notes and their information as secure and private, HIPAA compliant, and beyond as not just humanly possible, but automatedly possible. So if you have technology skills and want to be involved, please get a hold of us. Lisa, I'm going to pass this on to you so that you can talk all about the finances.
So I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be a part of Frontline Wellness.
Lisa?
Can you hear me now? Hold on.
Hello, Lisa. Haha, there we go. We gotcha. Can hear you now.
Okay. So I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be a part of Frontline Wellness. And I am this is just awesome. So about the finances. Well, obviously we need to open a bank account. That's something that every good agency requires. And there's more opportunities. We want to hire a fundraising and development director. And we want to hold a couple of fundraisers and use some of the strategies that have been successful with other nonprofit organizations. And one of those is crowdfunding, grants, and events. And it would be great if other members of our organization, if they want to do events, we would love to support that. So basically, we need to get our finances in order. And as a new nonprofit, we are looking forward to the challenges that are ahead. And we're looking forward to the people that we know out there that have been supporting us all throughout our so thank you all for coming. And yeah, the next person, Robin, with public relations and branding.
Hello, yes, I am excited to be here too, and I'm going to talk about some of our goals for the coming year having to do with public relations and branding. Our first goal there is we want to continue to develop and expand our social media reach. Right now, we do some posting on Facebook and on Twitter and various different places online, but we want to expand that more to spread the word, to make sure people know who we are and what we do, and to help bring more people into the fold. We also want to continue to circulate and promote our blog, which is called Pulse. We want to establish a way to get feedback from volunteers and activists, especially regarding how they perceive Frontline and our services, have more communication and dialogue with them. And we want to research possible business certifications for Frontline. For example, about being a women-led organization, various health certifications, privacy and HIPAA certifications. Those would help us establish ourselves as well. And now I'm going to hand it over to Joel, who will talk more about our partnership goals.
I think Joel is not on the call, so I'm going to jump in and do his section. I think he's actually watching right now. Hi, Joel. I'll do my best impersonation. Kidding. I'll spare you. So Joel was going to cover the partnership section where we go over some of our goals for the next year pertaining to partnerships that we'd like to develop a little further and new partnerships that we'd like to start. So we want to definitely continue our collaboration with the Pursuance Project. That's Barrett Brown's software program that's going to offer fully encrypted social networking and task management software to nonviolent activists. We're very excited to be involved with that project, and he's doing some beta testing with us. So we definitely want to make sure that we continue that relationship and investing in that. We want to continue our partnership with OSU College of Social Work. We are hoping to get an intern from them for the next semester starting in January, and that intern will be focusing on developing a plan to offer supports for local activists here in Columbus, Ohio, and also to develop supports available for whistleblowers across the globe. And we want to make sure that we're identifying new opportunities for new partnerships. So we are hoping to target at least 3, either different departments or different universities altogether to build future partnerships with. We were focusing in areas like public health especially, and certainly like public relations, nonprofit management, PR and fundraising, those sorts of things. So we'll go ahead and pass it on to, it's me. I'll pass it on to myself to go over some training opportunities that we're hopeful for the next year. A big part of Frontline's mission is to provide trainings for folks who want to support nonviolent activists. These are street medic trainings. These are trainings in mental health, first aid, crisis intervention, those kinds of things. So we want to continue that. This past year, we've provided 2 trainings for street medics, and we want to continue that momentum and build. So we have a goal set for a minimum of 3 trainings that we'd like to do in this upcoming year. Hopefully, we can do even more than that. We want to invest in staying connected with the folks that we're training because we want to be able to provide ongoing support for them and ongoing training. We want to be able to track individual participation and sort of get a sense of the impact that our volunteers are having on movements that are in their area or elsewhere. We definitely want to be able to identify opportunities to update our training methods because obviously the needs for folks who are in the field are going to be evolving. And we don't ever want our trainings to be maybe out of date or have portions that are irrelevant with new laws or with new technologies or things like that. We as a board want to be able to participate in trainings ourselves. We want to invest in our own leadership capabilities. We want to make sure that we do a conflict resolution training so that we can be as productive and solution focused as we can be. We want to take some trainings involved in nonviolent resistance movements so that we can make sure that we have a good understanding of the movements that we are set here to support. Any health and wellness related trainings we're open to. Obviously, we have to be responsible for our own health first. It's hard to help other people if we're not in a place where emotionally and mentally things are sustainable for us. And then certainly any leadership trainings that are available, we'd look at those as well. So definitely want to invest in training opportunities for our volunteers and certainly training opportunities for us as professionals. I'll pass on the next section to Bree. She's going to go over some resources.
Yes, hi. We also wanted to just mention that if you have any questions while you're watching this live, you can go to goo.gl/slides/UHFEHV. Yeah, please ask questions as you have them, and we will do our best to answer them. I believe somebody is monitoring that. I'm going to go over a little bit on what we plan to do in terms of developing additional resources for nonviolent activists. We're going to continue producing our mental health webinar series, which really focuses on tangible ways we can address burnout and other common mental health issues that activists are facing. We're also working on a series of public health guidelines and various materials to address the biggest, greatest threats to the largest populations of interest for us, which is namely encampment situations. The topics that we are focusing on first are waterborne and foodborne illnesses, sanitation, violence prevention, including gender-based violence, mental health, and different extreme weather conditions that may be faced in an encampment. So hopefully we will be releasing these one every quarter or faster, but as we try and grow and recruit, hopefully things can speed up as well. I think that's the end of the presentation. So I don't know if somebody else has something else to wrap it up with.
So I would like to remind everyone that we will be doing more workshops similar to what we did today. We presented some information about HIPAA compliance and about thinking beyond just HIPAA compliance when you're working with activists and other vulnerable populations. We've got more trainings, more workshops coming up in the future. If you want to be aware of those, if you want to see them when they are live or once they are recorded and available, please make sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. You can also go to our website at frontlinewellness.org and join our mailing list to find out more information. You can follow us on Facebook. Just search for Frontline Wellness United. And you can also find us on Twitter, where we are Frontline WU. It almost sounds like a university, doesn't it? So I hope that you will follow us in all of the places that you are likely to go looking for things. And I hope that if you're not already a member, that you will come and check us out on the website, fill out a form, go do a free course on the FEMA website to get yourself ready and join us, become a member, get involved, whether as a healthcare provider or as a volunteer in some other respect. Get involved and take a street medic training with us. There are lots of other ways to get involved, and maybe you have some ideas that we haven't spoken of yet, some things that should be goals that we haven't even thought to have as goals yet. Get involved, connect with us, talk to us, tell us what skills and training you can provide, and maybe there's more that we need to do. So we are not just an organization of one or two, we're an organization of an entire community. And it's not top down, it's about what all of you are interested in and involved in helping make sure that we provide the best care possible to the activist community. So before we end, I just want to turn to Duck, who seems to be the most on top of all of us this weekend, and see if you want to add anything, Duck, before we go.
I just want to echo some things that you've already touched on, Leisha, and just say thank you very much to our membership. A big thank you to all the volunteers that we've had the pleasure of working with, folks that we were able to train, folks who have given us really wonderful feedback, people who have supported nonviolent activists in their communities and have put themselves in a position that maybe would be perceived as risky to others. And just say thank you, thank you, thank you. These movements are incredibly important to support. They make our world a better place, and they do so in ways that are inclusive and sustainable. And we want to support that in every way that we can. So every nonviolent activist out there that is working to make their community safer and to make their community more equal and more just and more joyful, if you have any needs at all, please reach out to us. We want to be able to support you in all of your endeavors. And just a big thanks to all the volunteers and a giant thanks to the board. I talk to you guys every week, and it's just been such a pleasure getting to know you, and building momentum with this organization is a great privilege. So thank you.
So before we go, I'm going to check one more time over at the questions, and I do not see any new questions. One more place to look for questions. And I do not see any questions over here either. So if anybody does have questions after the live event is over, you can put your questions in the comments and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you, everybody. Does anybody else have anything to add before we go? I'm not seeing any hands raised or anything, so we're just going to close off. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for your interest, and thank you for caring. We look forward to doing great things with you in the next year, 2019 and beyond.